Good morning, adventurers. My name is Ben, and welcome to a morning show where I sit around, drink some tea, and talk about D&D. All right, first up in news today for D&D news. Yesterday it was announced that G4 is launching a D&D show, like on TV, called Invitation to Party. The cast looks really good. It's run by B. David Walters, which is phenomenal. He's such a good DM. And I don't actually know the majority of the cast super well. Like I don't know their styles and everything like that super well. But Iffy Nawadwe is on it, and I'm very excited about that because he is one of my favorite just like chaos players to get to see play. And he was in Dimension 20's Shriek Week, which launched yesterday. So that's pretty awesome. The inaugural stream for it is on November 19th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and then it is going to be on G4 TV on November 22nd at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. There is going to be actual Dungeons and Dragons on a major cable network, which is wild to me. And then the other thing in D&D news that I think actually might have been something I should have talked about yesterday, but I missed. If you are a fan of Not Another D&D Podcast or NADPod, they have tickets for live shows in January, live on their website right now. I believe that the first show is sold out, but they still have tickets for their Chicago and Minneapolis shows, if that is something of interest to you, and you are a fan of them, or you just want to go see some D&D. Next up is streams for today. Obviously, we have, well, not obviously, on twitch.tv slash oh my god, I wrote the wrong thing down here. On twitch.tv/DND, we have the Black Die Society at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we have, of course, Critical Role. It is Thursday. That means that Critical Role is happening today. Yeah, this is your forewarning to get caught up on either of those if you are not caught up yet, because the next episode comes out today. Next up for T&D today, I have unearthed this mug. This is the greatest uncle in the universe. It says the same thing on both sides. Mug. I'm not an uncle. I got this as a present for pet sitting one of my friend's rabbits for like 2 days. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but it's a nice little mug, and it's very colorful. And I honestly had forgotten that I had it until I pulled it out of like a bin. And today we just have some of our, ooh, that's very bright, Harney and Sons Organic Gunpowder Green. This is my favorite kind of tea. I don't know what else to tell you really. They are the thing that I go to when I don't really want to put thought or effort into picking what I want because I consistently like it. So that is what we have for T&D today. Now, today is Thursday, as mentioned, which means that it is one of my favorite days of the week for a whole myriad of reasons. One of which is that it is Third Party Thursday, and today we are talking about the Tome of Mystical Tattoos. I am so very excited to get into this one. This was one of the Kickstarters that I backed that I have been most excited about, I think, when I saw it pop up on my feed. I really love magical tattoos in game. I think they are such a cool concept. And I was so excited to see a book coming out that has like almost 300 pages worth of stuff in it. So I was super pumped about that. It is produced by Nat Ones, NATWUNS. I sort of stumbled on that one for some reason. And this is the Storm King, Storm God, Thunder God, Deity, something like that. Storm Deity cover. I don't know. I don't know if that's still available as something for anybody that's ordering it right now to access, but it was one of the options for Kickstarter backers. So I got this one because I thought it was the coolest one. I'm very excited about it. But let's crack this bad boy open, shall we? First things first, let's just talk real quick about what's in here. Okay? There's not a whole lot of variety in here, in that it picks one thing and it does a lot of that one thing. I mentioned that this book is 286 pages long. Okay, 287-ish. depending on if you count the certain very, very beginning or very end pages. 245 of those pages are tattoos. Just straight up, 245 of those pages are tattoos for you. The first 9 pages are the preface, introduction, table of contents, etc. So we're really talking about like 90+% of this book just being tattoos, which is really cool. It's kind of like a spell book almost, except that it is tattoos. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. The only other 2 things really that they have in here that take up any amount of space is the Tattooist class that they have written, and the is it the Search for the Dragon Tattooist? I think that's it. They have a mini one-shot kind of thing in the back of this book, which is a fun little adventure that we won't really Hunt for the Dragon Tattooist, that we won't really spend a whole lot of time on, because honestly it is not the core of this book. It's well done enough, I think. I haven't gotten to run it, so I don't have experience with like actually interacting with it, so I'm not positive, but it seems to be well enough written based on just a read through of it. But we're going to start off actually with talking about the Tattooist class here. There is also in between the beginning of the book and the Tattooist class, there's a couple of things like different kinds of inks, different kinds of systems, different kinds of, that sort of thing. But then we end up in the Tattooist class on page 14. Also, check out this art style, because it's just so cool. Like, it's a little cartoony, it's a little bit like floaty and whatever, but it's really, really awesome. And I really, really like it. So the Tattooist in this book is a very, very interesting build to me. It is like it's a half-caster, but it's also kind of like a warlock in a certain way, in that not that they have like limited numbers of spells. It's very strange, and I don't really know the best way to explain it without just kind of getting into the meat of it a little bit more. So let's look at it here. They also automatically learn tattoo designs from this book as you go through, which is really, really cool. All right, let's get into it here, shall we? So your core ability score for this class is going to be your charisma score. Oh, man. There we go. Or no, it's your constitution score. Sorry. Which is an interesting choice to me. It feels a little odd. I've talked before about how I don't love the idea of a constitution caster, just because of the weird balance thing that it has with it. But I also do understand where they're coming from with this. Your spell slots in this are called spell bangers, in that you apply little designs to like your fingers every single day. And you get the ability to replace them every day, and as you cast them, they are gone. The bangers are something that you can just like bang out real quick, like tattoo designs you can bang out real quick, so that is where that comes from. They actually explain that in this book. You have a sketchbook that allows you to, it works kind of like a wizard spell book, in that you can copy stuff down into it. You can copy magic tattoos that you see, which is cool. And you just sort of, you build up this repertoire as you go through it. But again, you're a half caster, which is weird. And this is the part where they sort of become like a warlock. Starting at 11th level, you start getting the ability similar to the oh god, I'm gonna forget what they're called. Whatever it's called, where the warlocks get higher level spells. You get things where you can apply single uses of higher level spells to your like spell banger list, essentially, and use Mystic Arcanum. That's what it's called for warlocks, and use those instead of using use those in addition to using your other features. So like at level 11, you pick up Counterfeiter, which allows you to, during a long rest, apply one spellbanger of 6th or 7th level, and when you use a different feature, you retain a copy of the magic tattoo for yourself. So like it's kind of like that where it's like a one-use kind of thing, and you pick it at the beginning of the day as well. And then you get another one at 20th level where you can do +1 bonus to all saving throws per magic tattoo to which you are currently attuned. You can apply 1 spellbanger of 8th or 9th level, and you can replace 2 magic tattoo designs learned with 2 new ones during a long rest. This is all very cool. It is a really weird sort of system, and it's very difficult to explain without going into like immense detail on it. So I'm really sorry that the last couple minutes have been me just kind of like stumbling over that. But the when you get to the subclasses is where I draw issue with this class, and this is honestly might be the first time I've ever said like something genuinely negative about a book that I'm talking about. In spite of the fact that, do not get me wrong, I absolutely love this book. This is a super cool book. I think that this class needs some more balancing work because they have 2 different tattoo styles, or tattooist styles, which are your subclasses in this. You have the neo-traditional style and you have the surrealism style. The neo-traditional style is built around being a martial character, it's built around being an up-close fighter, that sort of thing. And it is cool. It falls a little flat. It's akin to, I can't even really say it's akin to like an Eldritch Knight fighter. It is like a martial fighter who can kind of cast some spells here and there, with some stuff that like builds off of that. It's okay. It's like a 6 out of 10, I would say, maybe. Just like slightly above like baseline average, with your like average being dragged down by like, you know, your really bad subclasses of the world, your 4 elements monk, your purple dragon knight, your original beastmaster, that sort of thing. And then you get to the surrealism style, which in my mind is drastically overpowered because there is a feature in here which, at least in theory, if you take 1 short rest during the day, allows you to cast 4 9th level spells throughout the course of the day, which is a lot. Granted, that is when you hit level 20, but still, it feels like something that they just didn't check for, which is fine. That oversight is not on them necessarily, because you don't necessarily always have people who walk in and read it and think, oh, how can I break this? But pairing that feature where you can add a spellbanger of 9th level to your body with the feature that allows you to apply 1 additional spellbanger to your fingertips for each level of spellbanger you are allowed to cast. So you can add then a second 9th level one. So that's 2 9s right there. And then there is the Memento Mori, which allows you to, after expending a spellbanger to cast a spell, you can use an action to cast the same spell again at its base level on your next turn without expending another spellbanger. If you stack all of those together, you have to finish a short rest following that. You can expend your 9th level spell, do it again for free with this thing, take a short rest, expend the other 9th level spell, and do it again for free after that short rest has happened. So, I think it needs a little bit of work, but I really like it as a concept. I really, really would be interested in remodeling it just a touch, just seeing like little tweaks to it. But that is just me. People, I'm sure, are not going to be trying to actively break it like that, because you would be using it in a home game, and you don't necessarily want to break your home game. Anyway, moving on from that, getting into the actual meat of the book, we have so many different tattoos in here. There are head tattoos, neck tattoos, chest tattoos, back tattoos, arm tattoos, leg tattoos, tattoo sets, hexing tattoos, and divine tattoos. Now, we are not going to be able to go through all of them because there are just simply too many of them. Just to give you guys a general feel for how this book is laid out, this is what each page looks like, essentially. You get your tattoo on somebody's face, as well as the design just on paper. Let me see if I can actually find one that isn't yellow and red, so that you can actually see it a little bit better now that I'm thinking about it. Let's see here. Yeah. This one over here. So you can see here that you get your tattoo design on someone's face, as well as your tattoo design over here on the page itself, which is super cool. Under each tattoo, it's got a little bit of lore, and it's got the description of what the tattoo actually does, which is also fantastic, obviously. I'm going to show you guys two of my favorites real quick, just flipping through a couple of my favorite ones, because I really... There's so many of them to like in here, and so I tried to... I have like a whole bunch of them that I really, really like, but I just sort of picked a couple of them real quick. The first one is this one here, on this side of the page. It is called the Fallen Angels Tattoo. It looks like some shattered wing. I say it's my favorite for combination of effect and look. It looks like essentially glass wings that have been shattered on someone's back, which is super cool. It is a very rare tattoo, requires attunement. All of these tattoos require attunement. It is produced by a special needle. This magic tattoo symbolizes the broken wings of a fallen angel. When the tattoo is applied to your skin, you take an extra 2d6 necrotic damage whenever you take damage, which is interesting. And then it has a feature called Ascension, where as an action you can speak the command word and make it extrude inky wings from your skin for the next hour. You get a fly speed for 40 feet and resistance to all non-magical damage and one other damage type of your choice, and you don't take the extra necrotic damage whenever you take damage. Once activated, it can't be used again until the next dawn. One of my favorite tattoos when there wasn't an actual tattoo rule set like before that I found on Reddit or Pinterest or something like that was a set of tattoos somebody had designed, and one of them was called the Wings of Ink, which I think is just so beyond cool. I love it. I love the idea of being able to get like a flying tattoo, essentially. Moving forward to the next one that I had picked out, is on page 176 here, is a little hand tattoo. This guy right here. It is called the Chop Chop Tattoo, which I just think is funny. It looks like two little blades on your two end fingers. This is also very rare, though. When it is applied to your skin, your unarmed strikes gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, become magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance, and deal slashing damage equal to 1d10 plus your strength modifier. So the idea is that they make your fingers into knives, essentially. You can just, like, chop at people, which I think is just kind of funny. There's so much good in this book that I think is just cool, and I think that you just kind of have to go through and look at. And if nothing else, all of the art in this book is just beyond gorgeous. There are these full page spreads throughout the book, and they are beautiful. Every single one of them is absolutely beautiful. Let's see. As I mentioned, there are small sections for tattoo sets where you can get the full set done to yourself. Again, they show it on a body so you can kind of better visualize it. Let's talk about the Elementalist Tattoo Set real quick. When you are attuned to the Adaptive Tattoo, Inkball Tattoo, and Dozing Tattoo, you gain the following additional benefits. Instead of throwing the ball of ink you create using the Inkball Tattoo, you can kick it instead, increasing the range from 50 to 100 feet. The ball of ink created using the Inkball Tattoo can take on the damage type of any resistance you currently possess due to the Adaptive Tattoo. So it is sets of tattoos that are in this book that you can get all of them, and then you get additional features, which is cool. Let's see. Hexing tattoos are things that you put onto your weapon, so they're almost like runes, which is pretty cool. They obviously are all kind of like warding in some capacity, and they are pretty awesome to actually get to use on your weapons because they are like activation kind of things as well. Then there are the divine tattoos that we had talked about. They are full body. This is the Hunt Deity tattoos. These are all legendary, obviously. They are full body. and you can only attune to them if you are attuned to no more than one other magic item, because they come with a lot of stuff. Honestly, too much to even just like ride through. Like the opposite page is just full of text for this one. This is the Sea Deities tattoo. So, you know, there's quite a bit going on in that one. And then you get to the adventure, which has this very, very pretty art here. This is a really, really cool piece, I think, just in general. It is for 5 characters of level 3. And it's a nice, quick little adventure that doesn't do anything too crazy. Then there's a very brief section on spells, which are interesting. They're all about 3rd level, with the exception of 1 4th level spell. And then there's the thanks, and we are at the end of the book. If you are a dungeon master who really likes the idea of magic tattoos, or if you're looking for an idea for magic items, even enchantments that you can slide over to different items, this is a great book for you. This is essentially a book that is almost 300 pages long of just magic item enchantments that you can apply to stuff that you want, or keep them as is with magic tattoos. It is so cool, and I highly recommend actually checking this out, even if I personally am not in love with the class that they put out in here, but that's more of a me problem. Anyway, yeah, that is everything that I have to talk to you guys about today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making me part of your morning routine. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much in particular to my Kickstarter backers. You guys are the ones that make this show possible. We are super close to the goal of me being able to then put this show out as a podcast as well. So if you are able to and want to support the show, please follow the link in the description of this video to my Patreon. We are right there. If you would rather have this show as a podcast, we are on the threshold of it. But as I mentioned, that is everything I have for you guys today. I will see you tomorrow, and until next time, keep on rolling.